We are here at Nomad Coffee in the South End, a really special coffee shop. We launched here this morning. I'm running for lieutenant governor. We need a lot from a lieutenant governor right now. There are no ceremonial offices, as you heard me say this morning. It's all hands on deck, and I'm really excited to get to work.
I feel like you give me, like, if I didn't know who you were, my assumption would be that you're a lobbyist for either a trade group or a state rep I had not met yet.
Okay, this is good feedback. It's hurtful feedback, but I think I need. Hello, Vermont. I'm Andy Julo.
And I'm Joanna Grossman.
And this is There's No Way in Creemee.
Vermont politics, culture, and beyond.
Thanks for joining us.
So hello and welcome to There's No Way in Creemee.
Thanks.
Yeah. It's episode, oh my God, I don't know, 19?
I don't think so. I thought we weren't going to do episode numbers anymore because we were not smart enough to track catalog. It's not that.
Don't worry about the episode number.
Right.
That's the take home here.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I listened to a podcast that they used to have a release day and it was like Tuesday, Thursday. He kept messing it up. But during COVID, he kind of calculated that nobody really knew what day it was anymore. It didn't really matter because everybody was home all the time. So we just started saying Smurge Day.
Yeah, no, I love that.
Yep.
Yeah. Don't worry about the episode number. So but we're doing a little intro today to prep you guys for some excitement. And we've had a big week.
Yeah.
So we were just at the Statehouse and we did a live broadcast-ish from the Statehouse. We recorded in room 10. We did a bunch of interviews.
Real on the Statehouse lawn. We were in the gallery of the Senate for a while. We tried to get in the gallery of the House. That was packed.
Yeah, it was packed.
Mm-hmm.
It was really fun to be there. I loved seeing everybody. As you know, I love the energy of the Statehouse. You know what I noticed though? They gave us one of the rooms that did not have the recessed file folders I talked about in episode 1 that I love so much. But I think those are only the House committee rooms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do love those.
I really do. I should have tried to snap a picture when we were there because I always talk about them.
Fangirl.
I'm a total fangirl for the file folders for sure. Okay. So that was a lot of to do on Tuesday, and I don't want listeners to miss the amazing episode that we dropped with Owen Foster.
Yeah.
It was so good.
So good. Yeah. It's the issue that is at the core of all the other issues, healthcare costs, and one of those issues that you'd say, why can't we fix this? And then, unfortunately, the more you dig into it, you realize just how complex and hard a situation it is to do anything about. So many moving parts with the federal government, the state government, the hospitals, primary care. You try to address one thing and it can put the other parts out of balance.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, Owen was so great. He was so candid with us and really shared. I learned so much about the issue just from talking with him. Mm-hmm. And I really hope the listeners do too. And I think we're hoping to get a little more into the healthcare conversation this session.
Absolutely. I think we've listened to it 5 or 6 times as we've edited it and reviewed it. And I would recommend that because you got something out of each listen.
Yeah, he was great. So we did a lot of other stuff just in the past few days. We went to Molly Gray's launch for her LG race, and we have a little interview coming up in this episode with her. That was fun.
Yeah. We've seen a lot of each other this week, huh?
Yeah. We've been busy. And another piece of today's episode is going to be our Statehouse interview with Senator Becca White.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That was really fun.
Yeah. It's hard to tell who interviewed who.
Yeah.
During that segment.
Yeah. Well, she is a podcaster herself, too.
She is, right.
But she's also just really fun.
Talked about that. She's fun. She's conversational. She put me through the ringer on Statehouse Style.
Yes, that was really my all-time favorite segment for the entire podcast. It's our Statehouse Style segment, which made a comeback this week. Super psyched about that.
You passed muster.
Yeah, I did.
I had to go stand in the hallway.
I nailed it.
You nailed it.
Yeah.
And I looked like a lobbyist. As kind of a lobbyist who was trying to not look like a lobbyist.
I think you were rocking that look.
I thought so.
Yeah, I think we all thought that.
Yes.
Yeah.
My mom, my wife, my dogs, they all thought I looked good. So.
All right. Yeah. And we want folks to stay tuned for next week. We have a very special episode coming up next week. So this week, the governor did his State of the State address. It was very focused on one particular issue. And we feel like there's a couple more issues that need to be covered, and there's a little more to that issue too. So we're going to be doing a State of the Creemee State next week. And we work with, well, we'll get more into it next week, but we work with so many extraordinary young organizers whose futures are really not being addressed. And I think we're going to dig a little into that. I'm excited.
Sounds delightful.
Yeah, we also want to let the listeners know that all of the rest of the content for this episode was produced on location in multiple locations.
Yes.
We had all kinds of tech challenges. We did our very best to overcome them, but the episode's going to look a little different, and the audio is there.
Audio's all good.
Yep.
I am not in the video frame for the Becca episode, so it's going to feel weird that she's picking apart my outfit and then we don't show it.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't intentional. It wasn't like a shame thing where we wouldn't show my camera.
Well, if we use the video from the reel that I pulled off my laptop, you can get a little glimpse of it there if you zoom in.
Okay.
Yeah. So listeners should definitely do that. I like that outfit.
I do too. And I only have 3 shirts, so if one of them's in the tank, I'm in a lot of trouble.
No, it was good. So yeah, we're asking for a little grace. This was like a totally different kind of thing for us, and we've been constantly changing stuff up, and just appreciate everyone sticking with us.
For sure.
Yeah, that's it. We hope you guys enjoy the rest of this episode. Right?
Right.
All right. Okay, so Molly, welcome to a little mini segment of There's No Way in Creemee. Big day for you. You're launching your LG race. You want to tell us a little about why you're running?
Yeah, well, first, love the podcast. Super excited for you both to be in the State House this week.
Oh, thanks.
Really keeping us all informed and all the things as they happen. We are here at Nomad Coffee in the South End, a really special coffee shop. We launched here this morning. I'm running for lieutenant governor because we feel that it's super important in 2026 that anytime we're doing anything at this point, we've got to be showing up for other people. And so trying to help Nomad as they start to reopen on Monday, this Monday today, and really showing them some love and support as an awesome small business. But yeah, it's official. I'm running for lieutenant governor. I'm a new mom, and I've been a caregiver over the last few years for my mom.
Yeah.
And I've been running a statewide organization. Yeah. And we've seen the pain and the hurt up close that so many Vermonters are facing.
Yeah.
And we need a lot from a lieutenant governor right now. There are no ceremonial offices, as you heard me say this morning. It's all hands on deck, and I'm really excited to get to work.
Yeah, that's exciting. I really, I hope you don't mind me calling this out, but I kind of love that Jack started crying when you were up there. That was such an iconic, mom in politics moment. Man, I've been there. And I love how you guys handled it too. And it was just horrible. It's so real. We need folks who really understand caregiving to be in leadership roles. And it's really important. I had a couple questions for you.
Let it go. Yeah.
So you talked about a couple things. First of all, I love that you had this event here at Nomad Coffee. I don't know if you know this, but I live right down the street. Mm-hmm. This is one of my favorite places to meet people too. And I've loved this business and kind of followed them through their whole arc. And I'm a really big fan. So that's cool that you're shouting out for them and working for Phoenix. I love small businesses too. And so one of my questions to you is, tell me more about that. Tell me more about how you want to see Vermont supporting small businesses.
Well, first, it means that everyone in the state can have a livable wage and work for a business or a school system or hospitals or, in construction, whatever it is that's going to help us build more housing, make sure that everyone can access healthcare and access education. And the businesses are also doing public service, right? They're providing all sorts of goods and services to our communities every day. So it's a unique fabric that of workers and jobs that make Vermont what it is. And that's a huge part of the campaign, but really making it possible for working families, moms who, I brought my son today and it didn't go quite as we had planned, but like, that's life.
That's
right now.
life.
It's messy.
That's life as a mom.
It's like, like there's so many people of our generation caring for kids, caring for parents at the same time, without paid family and medical leave, with childcare that is becoming more affordable, but there's still more work we can do.
Yeah.
And in a healthcare system that's in crisis. And we need a team of elected leaders in the state, not just some office holders, everyone going to bat for those issues every single day, and housing as well. And so that's, I'm willing to put my family and my reputation and my life back on the line because I will never give up on the state. Plus, we are seeing the impacts of Trump's policies right here at home. We're seeing it at the Vermont African Alliance and immigration. We've seen it with SNAP. We're now going to see it with health insurance in the coming days. And we have to be fierce in our protection. So I'm running to help protect fundamental rights and using the tools that I have as a human rights lawyer and a lawyer and someone who understands how our systems are really being impacted to help lower costs and really be a champion for working families.
Yeah, I love how you said fierce in our protection. That's really great. Could you talk with me a little more about DCF and SNAP and what happened there and just kind of like give us a little bit of the story?
Yeah, this year has really been one blow after another, and different people have felt that in different ways. Working with an immigrant community, we've really felt it at the Vermont African Alliance. And what happened essentially was that the state decided to preemptively end SNAP for certain immigrant groups, even though federal law didn't require it. And despite efforts to try to help them understand, they went forward and did it anyways. And then they were found to be wrong. But at that point, our most vulnerable Vermonters who are already working second shift and are not looking for a handout, but are just trying to feed their kids, lost food assistance. Yeah. And we just can't afford any mistakes like that because human lives are impacted. So our protection is going to be fierce, and we can't, hold out voices or opinions or experience at a time like this. We need anyone who can help us figure that out at the table, and including the Lieutenant Governor. I look forward to being on again.
Yeah.
I will meet you at Nomad anywhere, anytime.
Yeah, awesome.
Thank you and Andy both for helping us understand the tough things in a really approachable way. So
we're happy to do it. Thanks for giving us a little time and congratulations. And we'll be following the campaign.
Looking forward to it.
All right, cheers.
Cheers.
Right, you hanging in there? Yeah, I had a busy day. My IT band, I hurt really badly.
Today?
No, a while ago, e-biking. It's probably the least athletic way you can injure your IT band with e-biking.
Yeah,
but, so yeah, I've been struggling with the heels. I've got some orthopedic shoes that I'm going to put on as soon as the day is done.
How were you getting around when your e-bike was stolen?
Oh, it's just tears and walking, just crying while walking. That was really, so thank goodness I got that back.
Oh my God.
People were just like, there she is walking again.
Yes, just somebody find her bike,
I kept the helmet on though, just for now. No, they stole the helmet too. Actually.
Did they really?
So my husband bought me a new helmet.
I don't even know what to make of that. I'm like, good job.
Yeah,
but,
I was like, at least you kept the lock, I guess.
Oh my God. I'm so glad
I too experienced Vermont's public safety challenges.
Yeah.
Oh. How was your day? How's it been for you? So you came in,
awesome.
You were in the Senate. I saw you in the balcony.
Yeah.
Which no cell phones allowed, so you can.
You see I got in trouble?
Did you get in trouble? Wait,
She brought
I
a
did.
cell phone up
I didn't know that we
And she
weren't
had it
allowed
out
to.
with her hot pink
I'm such
cover,
a fucking
waving it
novice.
around.
Shut up.
You could see Bloomer down there just like fielding with
so
rage.
Secretary Bloomer clocked you and was like, he like takes his glasses off and then goes out and then walks up. Is that what? But like, it's theatrical.
He gives you a few
though?
seconds to straighten
He's
yourself out, and then if you don't,
I love him for that though. It was totally cool.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know. Are we recording? Yeah, of course we are.
I mean, yeah, but whatever.
Yeah.
We can throw this out.
So we're in the balcony. I wanted to see like the opening spiel and stuff. And I thought that only the senators on the floor weren't allowed to use.
Oh, you thought it was just us.
I kind of did, and it's just embarrassing. And I was shooting a text out, and then I said, a hand on my shoulder, no cell phones allowed. And I was like, sorry. I put it
So
away
why did
immediately.
you think the sign was on the gallery door if it only applied to senators?
Yes.
I didn't see the sign.
Oh,
I did not
okay.
see the sign.
All right.
And I
Did
just
not see
want
the sign.
to, there's a member of the media who will remain nameless who was also
Sean
had their cell phone.
Robinson.
Oh, you're such a snitch.
A member of the media.
But
Well, so now you're officially like, you've been in the Senate, you know the rules.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
now you didn't. You
I
got to
had a
pass
4-hour session with John where he went over all the rules.
So you
I
should
just
have.
decided I was going to sit there quietly with my hands on my side and
I
say
think
nothing.
Andy thought I knew
Yeah.
and that I was knowingly breaking the rules.
Oh.
And so he wasn't going to like shut me down.
True.
Yeah, I think it was actually like an intent
Okay.
to.
She's an adult. I'm not going to
Yeah.
babysit you up there in the gallery.
Yeah, it was a good experience. Now
It was
you
fun.
know.
Yeah.
And
no,
it's-
I'm not sad.
And he's taken my phone before. He's genuinely
Has
taken
he?
my phone
Well,
from
and
me
you
on
saw
the
a senator
floor. So.
taking a picture,
Well,
but
that was
don't,
the other
don't name
thing.
the
I'm
senator.
not going to say
Just-
who, but I
Senator
did
Clark.
see.
She
Senator?
did stand up. But
Yeah.
poor John Benson, who had gotten sworn in, his family, I had actually given them probably bad information because it's a little bit like a wedding. You want to be on the side of, you want to see the face of your person.
Of course.
And I had thought that because he was seated over by us that he was going to get sworn in on that side, and I was wrong. So I had said to them like, oh, you're in a great spot. You're going to see everything. And then his poor wife couldn't quite get a photo. So Allison, Senator Clarkson, I think may have saved the day because his wife went up to her after and was like, did you capture this moment? And I believe she did. So
You know, I think now that I had my swearing-in ceremony, she sent me a video of the whole thing when I was done too. So
really?
Allison, yes, Senator
Dude,
Clarkson
she is like-
has your back.
Yeah.
she does a photo collage every year too that gets played. Yeah, it's a cultural experience.
She's the best.
She is.
You guys have a really great delegation. The Windsor County Senate delegation, I feel like, is legend.
Yeah.
You're just the best.
No, each of us as individuals could be our own show. We all each have our own personality, angle, and then all of us together, it doesn't quite make sense. With like
There's a
Senator
little
Joe
truth to that.
Major, who's like got his Bills notebook and is talking about the aquatic center and his military service, and then you got me, like the almost most senior member, like the second most senior member of the delegation.
Oh,
Yeah, like the young 31-year-old, and then you have Allison, who's got just such a theater to her, a
Yes.
theatre to her.
Yeah.
But is persistent. This woman is a dog on the bone with any issue a constituent has. And so while we all have big personalities, I think we each bring like a unique kind of workhorse angle to the whole thing. So I really like working with these folks. And I miss Senator Dick McCormick, who had retired. And I was nervous when he retired. I had spent a lot of time looking to my left going, what are we doing?
Yeah.
And getting an answer. And so when Joe came onto the Senate and he was looking to his right. I was like, I am going to try to help you, but I'm not Senator Dick McCormick. I don't have a folk story or a folk song about this exact procedural motion on the floor. But, yeah.
Well, that's a perfect dovetail to my first item on my little agenda here. Welcome back to the podcast, and congratulations on your podcast.
Oh, yeah.
With Senator Dick
Yes,
McCormick.
yeah.
Senator Emeritus.
Senator Emeritus.
I like that. The way you were discussing that is how, because I've encountered that myself, like former,
I'm going to start calling you that.
Technically, you're still senator, but
No,
it does confuse people.
You still are. And I
Right.
think it's a title and it's an honor, and you can be actively in the role, but I think you're always a senator. I think you're always a state representative. You're certainly treated that way. I think if you go in the co-op of your hometown, people have this expectation, even if you're not the direct policymaker, you're still going to know what's going on, and you kind of have this standing.
They yell at me less, though.
They yell at you.
They don't see the point in it. It's not worth the breath.
Like, we'll find, is the person in the other aisle that we need to, the podcast has been really good. We have recorded 5 episodes and released 2. So in part because, one of the themes of the whole show is that trying to have conversations about retirement and legacy building. And Senator McCormick retired from the state Senate, see emeritus, but he is also dealing with health challenges. Yeah. So I think for anyone who is in the place of thinking if they should continue in the legislature or not, health challenges is like a huge issue. So I'm actually hoping we can spend some time now that he's in a much better place with his health, that we can actually kind of address that. Because it was difficult as a new senator in particular to just see the real struggle, and feeling like not only does multiple members sitting next to me, multiple members are struggling with severe health issues that I'm like, where can we give you the resources? But also having a frank conversation that, is this the best workplace for you? Is a workplace really right for you right now? And that's a very difficult question, and it brings up mortality too. Yep. And that's something that Dick and I have actually spent quite a bit of time talking about is hope. And I haven't expressed this to him directly, but I in part wanted to do the podcast because I have a real nervousness that we're going to lose the ability to have those conversations, whether it's just as people age or depart. Like his brother, Representative Kurt McCormick, if I could have recorded hours of Representative Kurt McCormick, I would have. I just really want to make sure that we have a record and an oral tradition of those experiences, because when people leave the House or the Senate or pass away, they're gone. Yeah. So that's my goal with the podcast, but
it's a great theme because I mean, it's so valuable to be able, as you say, pass the torch, to be able to do what Dick did and help Joe ease into that role and be available for questions. And we've kind of been missing that over the last couple of decades.
And I think what we saw with these 2 resignations, even what has startled me is we have Senator John Benson, who's been now, he was explaining to me, he was thinking about it right before Christmas, and now he's a state senator. That doesn't prepare someone. I mean, so having people that you're actively mentoring, even if you're not thinking that you're going to be leaving anytime soon, I think we might need to work on that a little.
Yeah. I mean, there's so much there. There's both like retaining the sort of institutional knowledge, and then there's also like having an active goal of creating space for the next generation, which is something we talk about all the time. And when Howard Dean was on, I mean, he was like loudly railing about it. He was like, my generation needs to get out of the way.
And we were like,
we kind of wouldn't mind that, I think it's great that you're like really having that active conversation. That's really cool.
And he can translate. The thing that's nice is I think when you have a young person go, oh, we need to have people pass the torch and the legacy, you need to step away. Very different coming from me versus having, someone who has experienced that, was in for decades, and saying, here were the flags for me that it was my time to step away. And those flags are so personal that it's really nice to have someone who can say, was I having trouble driving at night? Was I able to make late night meetings? Yeah. Am I able to care for my spouse and my home being gone? Those are difficult questions, but to see the level of stress that some of my colleagues put themselves through to make it work, there needs to be more open, honest, dialogue.
Wow, yeah, absolutely.
Bummer, but good to talk about.
But it's also, I mean, it's relatable. It's like we're an aging state, and so this is not unique to the Senate.
True.
Yeah, absolutely.
And obviously, Dick has a great sense of humor about aging. Yeah. He can take it.
Yeah,
and give it.
Every story. I mean, that's the thing is, I learned even just in the pre-recording, he'll just tell these stories that I'm like, what? This happened? And then Doug Racine came and did an episode with us. I was like, can you just confirm or deny? I've heard some things.
Well, even the Senator Emeritus, and he said, well, if I call myself Senator, I'm of age. People think maybe I don't know. They don't know I'm in the Senate, or I don't understand I'm not in the Senate anymore.
They think you're still in the Senate. That was a few years ago, Nick. Like,
that's right. You're not there anymore, right?
Oh my God.
So how's the first day feeling? Is it always the first day of school, or does each one carry a little different feel to it?
This was by far my most, every year I've gotten a little better at the first day. I did rip my tights immediately on entering. Yeah, so that was, you still fumble a little bit with any new experience, but I felt really good going into both of my committees today, knowing what my priorities were. And in the past, I haven't spent as much time pre-session thinking, and it was the first year of a biennium last year, but I didn't really think through what are the top 3 things that I want to work on this session. And I walked into both of those rooms going, boom, I know what I want. I've already got bills up.
Awesome.
And so that felt like I'm ahead of the curve.
It's like you read the next question on our
No, seriously. Yeah, that is the next question. What bills are you introducing? What are your legislative priorities this year?
Yeah, well, it was fun. As you saw in the Senate, they read all the bills by number.
Yeah.
Because the sentence, it was too long. Too many bills were introduced. On the Senate side, so I don't even know what happened on the House side. It probably was a little intense. But so I introduced multiple bills. And on the transportation side, I'm very concerned about our revenue shortfall. Season, whatever your number system is.
Yeah, we don't know. But see the Becca White episode of season 1. It was awesome.
Yeah, $33 million. Not the topic. Not great. $33 million hole in our transportation fund that has already triggered a rescission plan and layoffs, and ultimately will lead to very poor road quality for about 48% of our roads by 2035. So those are the facts. So very focused on that.
Do you feel like, I don't want to stop you, but at the same time, when I talk to people about that issue, they have no idea. And I'm sure there are people who know, but do you feel like that information is getting out into the zeitgeist effectively? Because it's really important, and that really affects Vermonters every day, and Vermonters lost their jobs. It's a big deal.
Yeah, I don't think it is getting out there as much. And that is one reason why I so frequently talk about it, is it's like my little drum to beat, like, hey, look over here, there's a big issue. I feel a little bit like how I'm sure Jane Kitchell felt with the pensions question, where it's like, this is a ticking time bomb. It's going to have massive effects. It's not a sexy conversation. It's not going to make a good headline, but we need to resolve it.
If we headlined it like, you're going to deal with more potholes, do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like there's, I just feel like, talk about rubber meets the road.
Well, I'll ask you two this question, because I've polled a couple of constituents. What do you think we have four road qualities in Vermont. We have very poor, fair, and good. What percentage of Vermont roads right now do you think are very poor?
23.
Okay.
Oh man,
she doesn't like to lose these games.
No, so I'm gonna go with 35.
Okay, 6%.
Whoa!
Oh, okay.
I know, but that's the reason I asked that question, is because people are like, that doesn't make sense. Like, that doesn't add up. My experience is that the roads are much worse. Yeah. So I do think that we have already lowered our expectations for the quality of our roads. I had a constituent who said, was this report written by a potholes uncle? What is going on here? This just doesn't add up to my lived experience. So I think if we're already saying we have very poor road quality at 6%, and we're expected to go to 48% over the next 10 years, we're gonna have no road that you feel is high quality. It's gonna be major interstate problems, and people are gonna have to get their realignments. I mean, there's a lot of things that come with that. But our roads are already not feeling like they're in great quality, and that's state roads. So I should have clarified. That question is state roads, because municipal roads we don't have data on. We don't know really a uniform quality, and that's where we have the least amount of funding and the most amount of responsibility.
And okay, I don't know if you know this, but so does that include dirt roads?
When you say dirt roads, maybe you're meaning class 4 roads? Or
Oh yeah, I think I am. So this is, I'm like,
maybe class 3 if you're really not.
I'm going to sound very Chittenden County for a second, but I didn't know, like until I ran a statewide campaign, when I ran Chris Winters for Secretary of State, that was the first time that I really was driving all over Vermont all the time. BT Dubs, reason enough to run a statewide campaign. It was so awesome. But I could not believe how many roads in Vermont are dirt roads. And I found out later, literally half of Vermont roads are dirt roads.
Oh,
yeah. Well, that's what I read somewhere.
Sure.
But I guess I was wondering if those fall into this rubric, but maybe that doesn't quite fit into the classification scheme that we're talking about here.
Yes, it gets so interesting so quickly with roads, but class 4 roads are usually not maintained.
This is the roads deep dive episode. I don't want to know what it is.
We're getting into it. This is what we talk about in transportation. Like I'm a 31-year-old woman sitting there talking to like a person who is an excavator.
I'm trying to visualize what a
Euro
pothole's
people.
uncle looks like and how it's different than pothole
like
writing
a crater,
the letter.
like a meteor crater, maybe?
I don't know.
It's a parking lot pothole.
All right.
And like a pizza stand, like next to a pizza joint. Class 4 roads are primarily, none of them are paved, but they might even be trails.
Right,
So that's the other thing, is a class 4 road could be no driving. You can maybe use an ATV. It's through like the vast trail. So class 4 roads are sometimes town specific, and it also means that towns potentially get different funding depending on the type of road that they have and the percentage or number of miles they have that are class 1, 2, or 3. And then they get no money for class 4. So you can adopt a road essentially as a town and say, we are going to maintain it and bring it up to a new class even. There's a lot to that, and it's kind of the economics of how do you make your DPW budget work. And my bottom line that I think Vermonters need to know is it's going to get much harder. It's going to get much harder because there will be less money going to municipalities who already get, I think, less money than they should for the maintenance of their roads. So we might see more roads. I don't know what the actual percentage is of dirt roads, but we might see more roads being unmaintained. So towns no longer manage those roads. They close them off or they limit travel, which has pros and cons for an individual, but no fun.
Fair enough. Yeah. I appreciate you taking that detour with me. Pun intended. Okay, so legislative priorities.
Yeah.
What are your legislative
Well,
priorities?
I got the big one,
You got the big one.
transportation.
Yep.
And then of the bills I've introduced, I also, another transportation one, I'd like us to move, drum roll please, from a 2-year safety inspection from a 1-year safety inspection to a 2-year safety inspection. So you don't have to get your car inspected every year. It's good for 2 years.
I love that.
Yeah. I think
that's going to be popular.
I think it is popular based on my constituent feedback. I did have a gentleman who commented who said, this is a good idea, but it'll never happen. And so now it's going to happen is basically thank you to the gentleman who commented that on my Instagram post about this, because I will be working to the bone to get this now. No, but I do think Vermonters are being asked to kind of do a repetitive, unnecessary, bureaucratic thing. And if we can limit that while also maintaining safety, why not?
Yeah.
I like and my last big priority, I have an AI data center moratorium bill.
Yeah.
Which, if you're familiar with AI data centers, I don't know if you heard about these, but they could become an issue.
Yeah.
They are an issue in a lot of other places with their water consumption, their electric rate increases, this whole corporate structure where there's 4 jobs for a building that's thousands of square feet doesn't make sense to me. So I have a bill to do that. It's a slightly counter version to what is being introduced in the House, which is coming at it from a different angle, which is to make the criteria to build an AI data center very stringent. So I'm coming at it from let's just ban it for 5 years. Moratorium, we don't need any, we're good. And then there's another maybe slightly more patient view coming from the House, which is let's create a structure and a criteria that would see a correctly created AI data center that doesn't have all the negative externalities that we see. So it's a big one. There's a bill that isn't, I would say it's a priority of mine, but I'm not the champion of it because I don't serve on the committee. But this week, tomorrow, in Senate Judiciary, they're going to be taking up the anti-masking bill.
Oh,
which
excellent.
I worked really hard with Senator Hashim on that bill because...
Will you explain that for the listeners a little bit?
Yeah. So it's anti-masking, just to spell it out.
Not COVID masks.
Yes, exactly. Not those masks. When federal law enforcement, you think ICE, you think Homeland Security, police even, if they're going to be obscuring their identity, covering their faces, hiding their identity, not sharing information about who they are, that would be a misdemeanor. That would be considered a misdemeanor offense. So it's not us regulating the federal government in the way that I think we have found we're not able to. Like, we can't say, you need to do this ICE, you need to do this Homeland Security, you need to do this Border Patrol. That's outside of my understanding of our ability. But we can say this behavior is not appropriate and is a misdemeanor. And that's a tactic they tried with the MELT Act in New York. So it's a very similar bill. And I'm hoping that we see some movement on it in judiciary, because that was the scariest part for me with Mohsen Madawi being taken, was seeing adult men hide their identity made me so incredibly frightened. And maybe the experience would have been less frightening, and it didn't seem necessary. I still don't understand. And the fact that they weren't comfortable identifying themselves and told me that they didn't need to identify themselves to me was what was most concerning, and I'd like us to clarify.
Good for you.
Yeah. But I'm not on judiciary. We'll see how they do on that one.
Yeah, you would have just assumed that was the default when we created the country of you can't put a mask over your head and start arresting people without identifying yourself.
You're a radical, Andy.
I know. I just felt like that's what we used to fight against. But
Bram,
that's just me.
Rep Bram Kleppner, one of my House reps, told me that he put a bill in, on their side that's similar to that. And he said apparently like a dozen other House reps had submitted like the same bill, and they're trying to consolidate now. So it's good that there's alignment around. I mean, it's, like Andy said, it's like kind of a given. Of course, we should be doing that. Okay, what do we have next here?
Well, we've seen from the Trump administration that just this intimidation with new Americans and trying to make them feel unwelcome. What can we do, maybe in your afternoon committee, to make people feel welcome here, because we need them?
Yeah. Well, I hope the governor touches on this in his State of the State tomorrow. That is just one thought I have, because I remember when he discussed supporting migrant Vermonters in a speech a few years ago, that was his biggest standing ovation. Everyone, regardless of party, stood up and clapped for that. So I want that energy to exist now, and I hope we hear that tomorrow in the State of the State. What we as legislators can do, I think we can continue to support the Office of New Americans, which is in Senate Government Operations. I actually don't know. I feel like we passed that bill last year. So I think we have to implement it. But that was Senator Martine LaRocque-Gulick's bill. So I should touch base on where that is. And then we also have some ways that we can, with a bill that Tanya Vyhovsky has introduced on the Senate side, make certain areas safe spaces from ICE. So essentially expanding the scope of sanctuary locations. I think that will make folks feel safer if they have statuses that even if you have a green card, you're at risk. So I think that kind of legislation is powerful. We also put out, for what it's worth, a statement with the Senate Democrats where we stood with Somali Vermonters because it just became so obvious that they were being unfairly targeted. For what? I actually really
Existing,
I can't comprehend it. It seems so disingenuous to just go after a vulnerable group of people because they are an easy scapegoat. Like, it just seems so transparently that's what's happening to me. But so I think we can continue to make like statements and support, and also lifting up legislation that creates safe spaces for people.
Love that. So you're really into climate action, something we have in common. And so I was curious if you wanted to talk a little about the 2025 climate action plan, if there's something you poked at all.
Yeah, so we had an update to the climate action plan, which was done by they're not the climate caucus. What is their official title? The climate
Solutions
Council.
Climate Council. Yeah.
And this makes it confusing because I'm the co-chair of the Climate Solutions Caucus.
Oh, right,
so there's a lot of different climate-y names floating around. So that council created an update, and I really appreciated the update, especially in the transportation sector. That's where I, shocking, spend the majority of my time. But I think they right-sized some of their original suggestions and looked at, it seemed more like they were changing what the impacts would be rather than their solutions. So I think that was a nice update for it. And we're also living in a world without a structure to do regional climate action at this point, either in the transportation space or in the thermal space. So there's the Western Climate Initiative. There is potentially something coming from New York. So I think they wrestled with that question, which I appreciated. We are going to review it, or at least have a conversation about it, on Thursday.
Oh, great.
With free pizza in this room that we're in right now. With the
could be
Climate
down here
Solutions
every day.
Caucus. Yeah, you could get free pizza.
Nice.
I mean, seriously.
You never know. I might show up.
You're threatening me with a good time. Like, this is, we do it virtually, but then you don't get pizza.
No pizza here.
Yeah, so we'll be talking about it. And in the past, we had spent a considerable amount of time on the climate action plan and trying to break out what pieces of legislation would go with what suggestion when it first came out, like the original. And that is a disappointment to me that I don't see us having the political will to do that kind of strategy again. So we're seeing bills pop up, but they're not necessarily fully connected with the report in the way that we had originally reviewed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How are we doing on time? Do you want to, I don't want to miss out on Statehouse Style here.
Oh my gosh.
Should we move into Statehouse Style? It's just like so many good questions to ask.
I know.
Okay. So
I don't want to miss out on the Statehouse Style, though. I definitely.
You know what, Andy? Thank you for that.
Yeah.
That's extraordinary. You okay?
I am okay.
So Statehouse Style, that was a very popular segment, and it was on my bucket list, so I'm glad we're bringing it back. Yes, so big day in the State House. Do you want to tell us a little about your look today and what's going on with the legislative State House style scene?
Yes. Well, first of all, you nailed it.
Oh,
you walked in,
thank you.
You came in, you've got the look. Because this is what people don't understand.
Were you
about
talking
the
to her or the two of us?
I
It
don't
wasn't
know if you
clear
saw
from
my
the
eye
recording.
contact, but it was actually to my.
All right.
I do.
We'll go one at a time. I get it.
I appreciate the attire. I do.
I'm trying to step it down.
And you
I wanna
went
go.
full like Vermont State House.
Yes,
chic,
this
right?
is.
I love it.
It's
You
so-
look like a lobbyist.
Do I?
You look a little bit.
that's
I'm
not
getting.
what I was going for there.
Okay. I feel like you give me, like, if I didn't know who you were,
Right.
my assumption would be that you're a lobbyist for either a trade group or a state rep I had not met yet.
Okay, this is good feedback. It's hurtful feedback, but I
it's
think
not
I
meant
need.
to be. No, but you're going under the radar.
Right. Yeah.
See, that's the thing.
That's what. Yeah.
There's different levels to it because.
But it looks like I'm trying to go under the radar. Right? Is this what you're saying?
You look cool.
That's what she meant.
That's what I'm saying. You look cool.
All right, let's get back to
You
Joanna.
look-
I like
you look-
talking about Joanna better.
As well, Andy's like, we're cutting that entire segment. That's out.
We're not airing any of this.
Well, I don't know your shoes. What are your shoes?
Yeah, so they're just
Blunderstone.
Blunderstones.
Then
Yeah.
you nailed it.
That's
Blunderstones
Vermont, right?
are the unofficial Vermont State House shoe.
Yeah.
Both, like,
They
women
worked
and
pretty well.
men.
I walked across the field and I didn't not get snow in my shoes. So.
I was looking at them at Lenny's like last month, and I was like, Andy and I can't have the
You
same
know-
shoes, so I can't.
Oh,
I can't get these.
I don't. The
Yeah.
canvas strap on the back, I don't like that as much. It should be leather, so you can immediately hook your finger through it and bring it up. I always have to fiddle with the canvas,
It's outrageous.
so I'll probably go with Ariat next time.
Oh, wow.
Because
Okay,
they have leather.
Lenny's. I didn't know this was the place to go.
It's
We
like
have
a
Hubert, so
it's,
I don't know.
That's-
Lenny's in Williston is like an independently owned like Vermont
there's one in
shoe
Barrie and there's
kind
one in
of
St.
vibe.
Albans.
Oh, wow. They should be a sponsor since we did that, yeah.
There you go. And then you got to the Lenny's. Like, well, I would say for Statehouse Style, you should know one thing.
Okay.
Is Senator Allison Clarkson informed me that the sweater she was wearing today on the floor, she wore 21 years ago for her first legislative session day. So there is, like, I know the fashion can seem jokey, but people do put meaning into it. And like, there's something that I pay a lot of attention to is, are people wearing pins? What kind of pins are they wearing? Especially women, I think it's coming back that you have some kind of jewelry that's not just earrings or a necklace, it's like a pin.
Yeah.
And in the political world, that can have a lot of different meanings. You know, you might see a little pine tree. Well, what does that mean? Did you serve on a fish and forestry board? And that's the pin?
Right.
I also would note that this is not just a topic that I care about. Our Senate chair for government operations, Brian Collmore, we had a new member who joined us today, Senator John Morley. And one of the things that our chair spent considerable amount of time describing, like to set the rules up for John, was to describe how men have to wear ties and a jacket. And that's a strict rule.
Whoa.
And I had not fully conceptualized that. I don't
clock that.
Yeah. At least on the Senate side is what he said. And that made me remember that there's two different dress codes. So there is actually some formalized requirements in the State House that you do have an expectation, like a presentation of dress. And I think fashion's like a cultural commentary.
Yes,
so how people interpret that
Yeah.
is really important.
Yeah.
So I take it seriously.
Yeah.
Because there's not a lot of places that you can seriously wear a suit in the state of Vermont. And this is kind of our cultural norm. And I do appreciate when people take the time. And you could see that there were, at least with both of the new members, they took it very seriously. And I think everyone in the Senate really showed up. Tomorrow is the big day, though. Tomorrow is the big outfit day because it's the state of the state. So you have, with senators at least, you have a walk through the center of the aisle.
Yeah.
So
That's a good point.
Yeah.
It's funny, when my aunt was in leadership at the IRS.
Oh.
Yeah, I had nothing to do with that, whatever. Anyway, but she told me that when she started her job, she was not allowed to wear pants to work. She had to wear a skirt. And I just think it is such a luxury. Like, whenever I think of that, I'm like, wow, it is nice that we get to, like, you know, wear what we want.
Pants?
Yeah.
A good wide leg pant. Well, I don't know if I mentioned this. Maybe I did and I forgot. So I'm repeating myself.
Yeah.
But
You didn't.
Okay. This is from Jane Stetson,
Yeah.
who is a very well-known, very accomplished, I would say political operative almost in the state of Vermont. And I feel really honored that I get to wear something that she gave me. And
It's gorgeous.
thrifting, thank you.
Yeah.
And thrifting and reusing and having clothing that's not fast fashion is big. I'll give you one tip that I got already from two different people.
I'm excited.
Rent the runway.
Oh, yeah. People are so into that.
They're really
now.
into Rent the Runway. So
I've
if you're
never done
coming
it.
to the State House and you have a new jacket, clip the little things on the back or get Rent the Runway.
Yeah.
Those are your options.
Yeah. I like that.
What is Rent the Runway?
It's like
Don't laugh at me.
it's like a food delivery service, but it's clothes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You basically look at a list of clothes that are high cost.
Okay.
And then you say, I'm going to rent this with my subscription that's like $30 a month.
So this is the real life Tommy, when Tommy and Parks and Rec came up with that story, the Rent-a-Swag. This is Rent-a-Swag. Okay.
What is this? Yeah, the closet or whatever. What was
Yeah.
it? Tommy's closet or something? What was it?
I haven't done it because I'm terrified that I'll ruin something. You know, like I'll tear it or get a stain on it. Like I'm just a little clumsy.
I don't know what their policy is, but that is a fear of mine as well. Hopefully it's like, if you get some coffee on it, we forgive you and no cost. But if it's like $100, you own it, I'm out.
Yeah. That is a good tip. You know, I also want to flag that. So after you were on last time, you sent me a really great podcast episode about the beauty standard. Yeah. I loved it. And it's like, I mean, that's something I think about a lot too, because I am so into look and style and like how that intersects with politics. And I love that you sent that, because it it's important to me that, you know, like while I love to have a little fun with my look and like bring a little something, it's not that I think everybody should be showing up in Armani, you know, whatever, like whatever it is at the moment. That's kind of important.
And I also, the thing that I love about the State House so much is it's truly the place where women age 50 and up can like show their style.
Yeah.
And those are some of the most fashionable, interesting dressers, I think, in our zeitgeist of dressers.
Your seatmate is a perfect example of that.
Ann Cummings with the necklace.
Yes.
Ginny Lyons always got a good sweater.
Yes.
You know, there's so many classic looks. And even, like, I was thinking the other day when I watched Ashley Bartley and Jill Kowinski on Vermont Public, is they both have a very interesting, like, muted, like, the glasses and the turtlenecks, very interesting style that speaks to, like, what do we expect of women in a professional position in politics to look like. Yeah. And it's different. Vermont is different. And I love that. I love that there's a little bit of interesting. And glasses. Yeah. The glasses fashion, the socks fashion, and the tie fashion in this building is actually what people should keep their eyes on.
Yeah. Well, I love that you mentioned too women in leadership and their sweaters, because I've been noticing more sweaters in the State House the past couple years and a little less suiting, and that makes me happy. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I just think diversifying a little bit is a good thing.
Yeah, we don't need to have the same outfit on. Yeah.
My second choice today was a sweater. I guess I should have gone with that.
No, we like your sweater.
No, we do.
It's cool.
We do.
Don't.
This is the other thing is I think there's this different expectation, speaking of the beauty standard, of like what men can wear and what women can wear. And I'm so grateful that to my left, I have Joe Major, who is an extremely, extremely tight dresser. Yeah. Like he knows.
He's got the shoes too.
He's got the fashion. He's got the three-piece suit. And then to my right is Senator Nader Hashim, who also dresses to impress, was in a three-piece suit today. So there is like I appreciate that there is a standard of like, this is a personality trait. This is a bit of flair. And you saw that with like Senator Dick Maza, who would always have a little special, you know more than I do probably, always had an ascot with a different color and a tie. And so it's a Bobby Starr. You know, he had the best shoes. He had the boots. It's everyone participates in a way. And even the people who don't participate, like who are actively like, I'm going to be wearing my Blunderstones and my Birks even with my socks, or my Crocs with my socks, who I will not name names. That has been seen on the floor before.
We clocked that,
Yeah, that's not uncommon. Or a full jean outfit. You know, those types of style choices are also participating in my view. Completely engaged.
Yeah. They're bringing the full Vermont look into the State House. Yeah.
Yeah, we've got some fashion brands. We got Skeeta. We got Skeeta.
Yeah. That's maybe unofficial. Yeah.
It's a good one though.
Yeah. I feel like Skeeta is like one of the official like Burlington mom uniform. You know, like I now have like at least 3 Skeeta hats and neck warmers, and I don't even know exactly how I got them, but they're
yours now.
Yeah. I feel like an official, BHS PTO mom because I have one. Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. Was there other stuff we should hit?
We should wrap up. We got to clean up and get out of here.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah. And you didn't get kicked out of your room.
Did not.
So the Sergeant at Arms has...
Whatever you did, whatever form you filled out,
yes,
worked properly.
Thank you so much.
Next time we'll bring headphones for you.
Thank you. And then maybe I won't insult your outfit.
Yeah, I figured that was the route. All right.
Well, a few weeks back, I don't know if you saw this, but a few weeks back, I wore a flannel shirt specifically to troll Andy a little bit because, he wore a flannel shirt. And so,
I don't know why everybody's mean to me. I don't think I deserve it.
Oh, that's
nice. Would you say
so
that
nice.
I deserve it,
No,
Senator White? No.
I don't.
You're never mean to me, not ever.
That is right.
Yeah.
No, that's
I
not
do like how you've changed locations and you've had a couple of different film things.
Yeah.
I think you've done a really good setup, and I love seeing the progress of your podcast. It is very inspiring.
Thank you.
And I send it to people all the time.
Oh my God,
I
thank
literally
you.
am like, hey, you should listen to this episode just in case you were wondering. Especially my friends who live in other states who don't care about Vermont politics, like truly are like, could we change the topic, but love me and want to be informed. Such a helpful tool to have a fun, entertaining duo explain the current events. So thank you. You're making my friends all across the nation actually understand what I'm doing and be like, oh, this sounds interesting. Thank you.
That's very kind.
So kind.
We got a breakthrough.
Yeah, we're trying. Cool. Well, thanks for coming on, and good luck with the rest of the session. I know we'll be seeing you around.
Yeah, thank you.
All right.
Well, that brings us to the end of this episode.
Thank you all for listening.
Follow us between episodes for the latest updates on our socials at There's No A in Creemee on Instagram, Substack, and Blue Sky.
And catch us on our next episode of There's No A in Creemee, Vermont Politics, Culture, and Beyond in Apple Podcasts and Spotify.